Hello and welcome to the small scape. Today we're kind of doing more of a vloggy style because I really wanted to let you guys know why I did not scape this tank.
She didn't feel like it, so she left it all on me.
We have a brand new scaper in the scaping world, and that's this guy right over here. Actually, before I came down here to scape the tank, it had already been scaped.
I couldn't help it. I just wanted to start.
Well, and I think it turned out awesome. I wanted to give you a close-up. If you've seen the Primetime Aquatics video of the setup of the 125 in our gallery downstairs, then you've already gotten a little bit of a preview. But I wanted to give you some close-ups and then also talk about why and how we completed the tank. I'm gonna just throw myself in there too. And also detail a few items that we have used in this tank that we have never used before, but that we will definitely be using going forward that you need to know about. So enjoy. All right, first off, some of the products that we have used in this tank I am so excited about because since visiting all the Awaza booths throughout the years at Aquashellas and meeting Melanie Holmes and all the other amazing aquascapers, we have been kind of drooling over this substrate. This is red Flint Sand. We had acquired some bags from Zuze. That's a local shop by us. Totally awesome store. If you're in the Chicagoland area, they are in Elgin, and it's a great place for any inspiration just to really hang out. They have couches. You can just sit and park yourself for a few hours. Matter of fact, a lot of people do. And this substrate is so amazing. It is, again, red Flint Sand, and they actually have it in big bags, so bring somebody strong. They have it in 50-pound bags, which comes in really handy when you have a larger tank such as this 125. And it also comes in kind of like help yourself with a little scooper, like the candy shop sort of style. Scoop yourself some different little pebbles. We've got the second like little size up from this is like a gravel size. Really love the like tones in here, and then they have a size up that are probably each piece is about a quarter, the size of a quarter or so, which you'll probably be seeing in other scapes coming up. And it's also very inexpensive. We're talking less than $1 per pound, which can beat the price of the big box stores, the Petcos, the PetSmarts, and it's a beautiful kind of a mid-tone substrate. Looks really natural, and it has grays, it has tans, it has even some red coloration. So I am so excited to use this with, we work with Cerise stone, dragon stone, and then even like these river rocks, which totally love the look of this, especially in this tank. So I'm so happy we use this because we do have fish in here that have long trailers that we don't want getting caught up on any sharp rocks. So excited to have, this is Awaza, and Awaza is now in the house. And boy, am I honored. They are not only a great company, they're just great people to work with. If you've ever been to their booth at Aquashella, they are so, just anybody who scapes their tanks, who's at the Awaza booth, they're helpful, they're always willing to help, give suggestions, talk about their scapes, and they're just really for the hobbyist. And just to know that their filter is in our house, very excited. They are kind enough to send these out for our gallery tanks in the basement, but really loving how they're working. Also wanted to mention that the lighting for the gallery tanks are, they were also supplied to us by Aqua Illumination. This is the Blade Light. Really loving the low profile, you can barely see it. It's laying right on the top of the tank, and it's providing a whole lot of really beautiful bright light. And this is fully programmable light. You can control everything with an app. You can control the duration, the time, the intensity, the spectrum. All right, so now just to talk a little bit about the scape. Yes, I had laid out all of the driftwood. We tried to kind of pull everything that was very similar in kind of the form and just the size of the pieces, because to fill up a 125, which I personally have never done an actual scape in such a large tank, it was a little intimidating. But we did have a lot of this driftwood that's very similar, and I had kind of laid it on the floor, and then yeah, Mr. Primetime came, and I was out for a number of hours, and when I came back, the driftwood was in the tank, and it looked beautiful. I really love how it turned out. It kind of forms a triangular sort of, it fills up kind of half the tank almost with, you know, going on the angle. So it has a nice flow to the left-hand side, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we added some rock work, which I love using river rock. It's so natural, and with a lot of these pieces that we used, you can find some really interesting rocks that have a lot of character. If you're a rock hound like I am, you will collect any and all rocks that are just so cool looking. They have little notches, they have little kind of striping throughout. They're just really fun to use and kind of highlight in different areas of the tank. This happens to be my favorite rock in the tank. And just a lot of them are placed very specifically in order to glue the driftwood to the rocks, because all of this driftwood would float up if it's not glued or held down. And that was, it kind of, we used the, I added a lot more rock along the back to kind of extend the escape to the left-hand side, because there's a lot of open area right now until the valve grows in. It's going to be a little kind of emptier on that side, which is fine. I think you do need some space to let your eyes rest. And then for plants, yeah, you do need to use a lot of plants when you're planting a 125. This is a very natural kind of look. I still wanted the main focus to be the beautiful pieces of driftwood, but we went with crypts. It was really Mr. Primetime's call what plants he wanted to use. He definitely had to have crypts because that's his favorite plant. And I agree, it looks really cool, kind of just hanging out right next to the driftwood. Looks really natural. And then the valve, have to have valve along the back of a tank, especially this big. Looks really awesome, and it will grow in very nicely. The crinum was his call. He loves this crinum. It's ginormous, and it was kind of a feat to try to get that guy to stay back there, and it took a lot more substrate kind of around it and a rock kind of to block it, because you really just have a big bulb sitting there on the nearly on the top of the substrate. I don't think it's that attractive looking, but that worked out well. And then the plants along the front, we used some Anubias. We have very large Anubias that was very happy in one of our 29 gallons, and it has gotten very large, very happy. Some of it looks like it was a little eaten, but I think that does contribute to the worn look, the natural sort of look, and I don't think anybody in here will really be eating it, so it should kind of recover as new leaves grow. But I think it's a really kind of a fun, natural sort of scape, and I'm hoping the fish are going to be very happy in here. So that is a kind of mini tour around the 125. Let me know, have you ever used red Flint Sand? Really excited to know, do you like it? Do you kind of like this mid-tone? I really do. And I'm anxious to use it in other tanks, not only down here, hopefully, but in the studio upstairs when I get to doing some tanks up there. But next up on the agenda is tank over here and a tank over there. We've got a lowboy that we need to rescape. That's going to have a really cool theme, and there's going to be a 125 that sits next to this guy. Really excited. They'll probably be scaped before I get there too, which is totally fine. But hopefully you enjoyed the little tour and close-ups, and I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.